You are now tuned in to the latest and the greatest. TP Way the Giant. It's your guy who was never lying. Sometimes defiant. See, I know and understand that you could have been anywhere else, but you're here with me. Let's go, let's go. Fee, 5, 4, 4. You know, it's a way of life, it's a lifestyle. It means we don't just talk like a giant, but we walk like a giant. You know, it's facts over feelings over here. This is where all the New York Giant soldiers congregate and have real conversations. Now let me make it clear. Viewer discretion is advised. The thoughts and opinions are not the thoughts and opinions of the New York Giants. Now before we kick this thing off, I need each and every one of you to make sure that you like this stream. And if you're new to this experience, especially if you are a New York Giant soldier, you gotta subscribe. 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 Come on, man. Now, grab your favorite snack. Grab your favorite drink. And if you smoke, we'll go ahead and smoke something from it. And we about to kick this thing off. One more major announcement that I cannot afford to let you sleep is that if you visit the description of this video, then go ahead and do yourself a favor and cop some merch. Official like a referee's whistle. That's how we give it up. Now without further ado, I said without further ado, let's get this shit started. Feet, 5, 4, 4. It's your guy who was never lying, sometimes defiant, TP Way the Giant. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in and rocking with me, man. I'm gonna be just transparent with y'all. This live game, this post-game live streams, excuse me, it's not gonna be a long one. And if I'm being honest with you, you know, I'm not feeling my best. And on top of that, you know, I allowed this team to disappoint me again. You know, of course, it would have been more logical for me to go into this game, right, with just like no feelings. But just the way this game just panned out, and for us to lose in the fashion that we've been losing all year, it just pisses me off, man. You don't get used to this shit. You don't get used to it. So just forgive me in advance, you know, if the attitude is there. I'm pissed, man. I'm pissed. New York Football Giants fall short in overtime. 27 to the Detroit Lions, 34. I'm gonna get this chat out the way, man, because I gotta get this off my chest, man. G-Men party, yeah, wow, yeah, that's one word to describe how I'm feeling for sure. Wow. 4 of a kind. Shout out to my guy Ant, man, in the building. Let him live. Says same old bullshit. Defense let us down again. Offense gave us a chance. Same old story. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. That is the thing that pisses me off. Like, it's the same old shit. And at this point, I am led to believe that these guys, man, just love to just sabotage this fan base. Because it's the same old shit. We know how this movie goes. And it's the same old shit. No different ending. No different nothing. Same old, man. This shit is embarrassing. My man's TJ. He's a Commander fan. And I'm going to read this text. I'm going to read this text that it just describes us so perfectly. He says, man, I watch the Giants every week. And this like the third time I was going for y'all. I swear y'all got the best, most underrated, talented bums I have ever seen. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make this shit up. Otto Watts says, why kick off in overtime? That just gave Detroit's tired defense another rest cycle. Detroit had just drove down to score the game-tying field goal at the end of regulation. Well, look, Kafka, we're going to talk about Kafka for sure. We're going to talk about Kafka. Let him live 80 says, shouldn't have never went to OT. And that's what I'm mad at. That's what I'm mad at. Solving the race problem says, Giants gonna Giant. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 4 of a kind says, like fourth game this season, y'all up 10 plus in fourth and find a way to lose. Again, like we said in the group chat, and you can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. H-Town says, 2 draft pickers alive. Let's get a king's ransom for it. Team showed fight 2 weeks in a row. No need to expect much more, but Bowen has to go. Nah, we ain't gonna do this. We're not gonna blame Bowen this go around. We're not gonna blame Bowen this go around, and I'm gonna tell you why. But we'll get into it. Solving the race problem says, I wouldn't mind Mike Kafka getting another year. It's early though. Yeah. Yup. El Jefe says, came down to poor coaching once again. Unfortunate. That's a fact. That is a fact. H-Town also says, Kafka shows he can have a team prepared and competitive, but the staff has to be new because this one just doesn't have the capability to elevate a roster. Yeah. El Jefe's in the building. Shout out to El Jefe. And CFA says, fire Bowen now. All right, so let's get into it, man. Let's read off some stats here, man. I don't know how we lose when I'm about to read off but this is the facts. This is the facts. Jameis Winston threw for 366 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He went 18 for 36. Tyrone Tracy Jr. ran for 62 yards off 20 carries. Devin Singletary had 14 carries for 47 yards. Wan'Dale Robinson. Shout out to Wan'Dale Robinson. Shout out to Wan'Dale Robinson. Because Wan'Dale is one of those guys that has been criminally underrated. And I'm talking to the New York Giant fan base. Y'all got players all fucked up. Y'all do. And Wan'Dale is one of them. And as we go down the list, man, we're gonna get into the personnel aspect of things. But y'all have disrespected Wan'Dale. Y'all have not analyzed a bit of what Wan'Dale has looked like on the field. Y'all have thrown out these false ass narratives when it comes to Wan'Dale. But Wan'Dale has been having a solid season, and this was a Wan'Dale game. 9 receptions, 156 yards, and a tutty. And a tutty. Now, I'm not the I told you so person. Like, again, I don't like to always come up here and, give you a whole live stream about I told you so's. But for those who've been tuned in, For those who've been tuned in, when everybody was trying to tell me that Wan'Dale Robinson isn't capable of being a prominent receiver in this league and he's too small and all that shit, when you was over here, you heard me say what? You heard me say what? You put Wan'Dale in the right position and you make something, you create a scheme for Wan'Dale, and Wan'Dale can show you something. Can show you something. And I'm not just talking about Wan'Dale because there's other players that I could say the same thing about. Devin Singletary is another guy that Giant fans just completely shit on. Like he's just ass. I'm not acting like Devin Singletary is, Barry Sanders or no shit like that. But Devin Singletary ain't nothing to just shit on. He's the third string running back. I will take it. I will take it. Y'all shit on Kayvon Thibodeau every chance that you get, and you see why he's who he is. Y'all couldn't wait. As soon as there was any sign, Abdul Carter was drafted, and y'all did everything to try to shit on Kayvon. Do you understand now what he adds to this defense? Do you understand what he adds to this team, what he could do on the field? Do you understand that? Or do we have to continue to have these conversations? Or y'all just going to be continuing to run with fucking narratives because people parrot the same shit that the next man parrots? Y'all want to talk to me about personnel, talent, and depth and all of that other shit, but it's right fucking there. It's right there. But again, let me continue on. Theo Johnson with a really good game. Theo Johnson, 3 receptions, 77 yards. Caught some tough catches. Tough catches. Theo Johnson, man, this is the Theo Johnson that I love to see. Tyrone Tracy Jr. had 3 receptions for 68 yards. To continue on to things, Tyrone Tracy Jr. is another one. It's another one. Because as soon as Scap got into the picture, y'all tried to shit on Tyrone Tracy Jr. like he wasn't a 1,000-yard all-purpose back last year. But that's how y'all are. That's how y'all are about every fucking thing. You wiggle something shiny in front of you and you just forget about everything else. You forget about the truth of the matter. Tyrone Tracy Jr. was running absolutely hard this game. Hard. Putting in pain in the run game. And y'all keep talking about getting rid of Tyrone Tracy Jr. and bringing another running back in and all this other type shit that just doesn't make sense, and it just takes away from the accountability of the real nucleus of the problems of this team. But we're going to get into it. Isaiah Hodgins, 2 receptions, 42 yards, and the touchdown. Welcome back, Isaiah Hodgins. Not the sexiest thing on the stat sheet, but when we need it the most, he comes up with a big catch, and he helps this team out. And this is not an Isaiah Hodgins that has had the preparation that all of these other guys like Darius fucking Slayton has had. And y'all know me, I'm a Darius Slayton guy. But Darius Slayton, I don't want to see you tweet shit. I don't want to see you tweet a damn thing. Don't get mad at fans fanning. Don't get mad at fans for wanting somebody like a Darius Slayton to do better, to produce, to do more than what he's doing. Don't get mad at the fans because you had opportune chances to shut him up. And Darius Slayton, you're going ghost. And y'all know I'm a Darius Slayton guy, but I'm not going to defend bullshit. As far as I can tell you, Darius Slayton, you need to give Isaiah Hodgins that number 18 and go back to your old shit. Cause you right now, man, you are one of the biggest disappointments. Everybody is stepping up in a receiving game. Everybody is stepping up. Everybody took on the challenge. Oh, Malik is not here? Okay, cool. Let's suit up. Everybody has that mindset. But the person that's supposed to be the leader of this whole shit is not doing it. It's not. Darius Slayton is going ghost. All you've been giving me is fucking hamstring injuries. That's all. But Isaiah Hodgins gets picked up from off the fucking couch and is doing more than what Darius Slayton has done all year. Don't tweet shit. Don't tweet at fans talking about what they don't know and what they're doing wrong. I don't want to hear that shit. On the defensive side of the ball, again, we could really have some conversations, and I'm going to save it. I'm really going to save it because I want to take the time to get into certain things about certain players on this defense. Certain players on this defense. Javon Holland with an interception. Brian Burns could have had 2 sacks. Could have had 2 sacks. That hurt. That hurt. But I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you who did have 2 sacks. Darius fucking Alexander. Darius Alexander had 2 sacks. And again, we could criticize Joe Shane all we want. We can criticize a lot of things when it comes to Joe Shane. I can't argue that. But what we can't say is he didn't cook. He didn't cook this draft class. Darius Alexander was a hit, man. Darius Alexander is a hit. And if we could have somebody that can come in and continue to develop guys like a Darius Alexander, we in good business. Shout out to my guy, Coach Ward, in the building.
It's all good, baby.
With the $5 super chat says, Tracy stock up. Wandale stock up. Theo Johnson stock up. Hodgins stock up. Motor stock up. Slayton ghost. And that's a fact. That is a fact. Shout out to Coach Ward. That is a fact. And that's exactly why my mindset is all on whoever is not getting with the program, whoever is not showing us shit in these last stretch of these games, out with the fucking old. I don't care who they are. Out with the old if they're not getting with the program. So to your point, let's start here. I do want to start here. Let's start with the defense. Let's start with the defense. The reason on why I'm not going to allow y'all to use that Shane Bowen excuse is because you can't coach bitch-ass play. You can't coach that. We're not going to just continue to just, again, fall for all the narratives in the world and just say, hey, Shane Bowen, Shane Bowen, Shane Bowen. No, this defense was playing soft. Was playing soft. And the commentators was speaking to it. You let Jahmyr Gibbs run right up the middle and not even fucking touched. Not even touched. That's not a Shane Bowen thing. That's a bunch of bitch-ass shit going on in the defensive side of the ball. That's what that is. So we're not going to just hang our hat on a Shane Bowen excuse. Everybody who is scared to get off a block and is scared to get their nose in somebody's face mask and make a tackle, we need to get rid of and upgrade. We need to get rid of and upgrade. Because that's what we've seen today. There's no reason why the Lions should have put up 34 fucking points on us. There's no reason. Outside of the fact that, of course, when the late game stretch comes, we just start crumbling. It's just absolutely sad. And I'm particularly talking about this defense. Corey Black had the fucking Deontay Banks syndrome. Acting scary, couldn't get off a block. Act like he didn't even want to get off a block. Didn't want to tackle shit. Dame Belton, sloppy tackling. These are professionals that don't wrap up. Professionals. This shit is sad, man. This shit is sad. Anytime you got a running back going up the middle in crutch time, and they're not even getting touched. Bobby Okereke just soft as shit, man. And we seeing this game in and game out. Bobby Okereke just completely soft. Completely soft. That has nothing to do with scheme. It has nothing to do with anything else outside of the fact that this defense is acting pussy. On the offensive side of the ball, I will say this. Mike Kafka coached a beautiful game offensively. And unfortunately, Mike Kafka, you did one major thing. One major thing that ultimately was the reason why we resulted in a loss. And no, you can't expect perfection out of anybody, and that goes for players or coaches. But what pisses me off with Kafka is that Kafka has been here just like everybody else has been here. And if anybody in the NFL has been in these late game stretches and has these opportunities and been in these positions, it has been us. Kafka, there's no fucking excuse. You absolutely know in the late game stretch, you have to get the points. You have to get the points. You know this. And the reason why you know this is because we've been in this position way too many times. And we've seen the results of this. We've seen the end of this story over and over and over again. If I am living in the outside world, and hypothetically, if you go to the red door in the story, you get shot. Let's just say it. You get shot if you go through the red door. And this is an outside world. This is hypothetical. And let's say we already know. Anytime you go through the red door, we've been through the red door about a good 4 to 5 times. And every single time we know we get shot. Aren't you going to fucking wonder what's in that blue door? Aren't you going to wonder? Is there anything that's going to pop through your head that say, you know what? I think I've been through that red door enough. I think I've been there enough to understand that going through there doesn't result in good results. You kick the field goal and you make it a touchdown situation. Instead, we get just too in the moment. We get too greedy. And then what do? We don't convert. And then we give the Lions all the momentum in the world and their home turf. And then they do what we always know for our defense to do, crumble, and they kick a field goal. And then from there, we know it is game. We know it is game. So, Kafka, that was one major mistake that you had that really disappointed me. And it was mainly because you, out of all people, you've been here. You know why you have to get the points there. Outside of that, I think Kafka, man, really was in his bag. I think Kafka did a beautiful job. I think that he made this game a lot more exciting than what I personally gave it credit for it to be. Threw some trickery plays in there that turned shit up and that worked, and he did his 1-2 with sticking to the run. I think he stuck to the run a little bit more than I would have liked to in the late game stretch, especially in overtime. But all in all, I think he did a beautiful job, man, coaching this game from beginning to the end. And I am interested in seeing, what Kafka will continue to look like, especially when we get, certain weapons back. I think Kafka has shown that much. But also in Kafka's defense here, I mean, Kafka is also coaching for a head coaching role. And so that one costly mistake in the end of the fourth is just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. You gotta do better than that. You gotta do better than that. So what I'm not gonna do this game is I'm not gonna sit here and allow us to just put the coaches in the forefront as far as the blame is concerned. Because these players, man, these players have to get called on. They have to get called on. And I think if you just refrain for accountability from some of the shit that we seen today, then we're doing a disservice. We're doing a disservice. This defense was a letdown. This defense was an absolute letdown, and it was sad because we really had another chance, another opportunity, and another game to really walk in the Detroit Lions dome and walk away with an upset. I hate the fact that a lot of the good that went on today is going to be overshadowed by the results of this game. There was some good. There was for sure some good. Like, okay, Hutchinson did call game at the end of this whole thing. But all in all, man, our offensive line, I think they did a pretty good job, man. A pretty damn good job throughout this game. And they had that D-line on hush, which was a slight concern of mine because I've always known for them to be able to get after the quarterback. But we handled that. We handled that. Again, I'm going to say it again, the receivers, everybody, excluding Darius Slayton, everybody stepped up. Everybody stepped up big time, man. Everybody stepped up big time. Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary. I liked how they looked in the running game, ran hard. Again, it was some good things to take away from this game. Good things to take away from this game. But unfortunately, it's just not good enough. And the loss is going to overshadow it all. It's going to overshadow it all. I also don't want to forget, man, and I mean, this is a serious conversation to be had now. And I don't want to overreact because this is Abdul Carter's rookie season. But the fact that Darius Slayton has more sacks than Abdul Carter, it either says a lot about Darius Alexander or it says a lot about Abdul, or both. Or both. But I'm going to tell you this, man. And this is for sure. Abdul Carter, I'm not excited. I'm not excited. All of this generational talent shit that y'all try to, lead me to believe, and all of this comparison shit and how he's the next Michael Parsons, and how he was so antsy on comparing him to LT and all of this shit and all of that coming just full circle. All fucking hype. All fucking hype. And no pressure. I'm just not excited. And at some point in time, man, I'm just going to have to see something from Abdul, man. For real. Because I'm looking at everybody that we drafted. Everybody that we drafted. They have shown me something. I ain't seeing shit from Abdul. Save the almost shit. I don't want to hear almost shit. It's week 12. Jackson Dart showed me something. Scat showed me something. Darius Alexander has shown me something. Who am I forgetting? Thomas Fedoni, even our 7th rounder, when he has the opportunities, has shown me something. Marcus Mimbo has shown me something. But the 3rd pick of the draft and Abdul Carter, I'm sorry, I'm not excited. I'm not excited. So meanwhile, while y'all using all of this energy to dick ride Kayvon Thibodeau, maybe y'all should think about Abdul Carter a little bit more. A little bit more. Looking every bit of a rookie right now. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Darius Alexander, shout out to him. I really hope that Darius Alexander can build off of this and we can just continue to develop and you know, continue to see his growth. Because I think he's a baller, man. I think he's a baller. And I like what I've seen from Darius Alexander for sure. Not a lot of bright spots on his defensive side of the ball, man, but you know, when we had him, we had him. Cordell Flott, again. Cordell Flott is showing me something this year. I got to shout out Cordell, man, for stepping up and doing what he needs to do when he's out there on the field. Y'all can talk all of that, you know, he lightweight and all that other shit, but he played like a big dog. He played like a big dog. And also, I do have to say this, man, because now, at first, I was letting it rock, but now this is a conversation to be had. But Jamie Gillian, yeah, a punter. Yeah, he's having a terrible year this year. He's having a terrible year this year. And I ain't gonna hold you. Now there's gonna have to be conversations about Jamie Gillian's future. I don't know what it is about our kicking situation. I don't know what goes into that, but this is absolutely terrible. Terrible. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Again, y'all know if y'all was tuned in to the pregame live stream, y'all know I didn't have too much expectation. I didn't have too much expectation, but y'all know, you know, as a fan, when you see your team going out there playing the way that they are playing for most of the game, trying to make shit happen, and then you have an opportunity, man, where you could, you know, really put yourself in a position to walk out there with an upset, I can't help but to buy in at that point. Can't help but to buy in. But for us to lose like this again, I'm not gonna lie, it just pissed me off. It pissed me off. But unfortunately, I can't stay up here longer. I got to get to work. I told y'all, I got to talk to some Detroit Lion fans that I work with. I'm about to see them. They better not talk too heavy. I know that too. They can't talk too heavy. But all in all, you know, they got the dub. But New York Giants salute to each and every one of y'all. Like this stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll revisit this conversation, of course. You know, tomorrow we definitely going to put out something and definitely have another conversation, man. But I got to get going. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank y'all for allowing me to vent. Let me go. Yeah, let me go regroup. I'll holler at y'all, man. Peace.
If I don't do nothing, I'ma ball and provide. Wifey said the only side piece she support is the piece on my side. Yeah. Everything gonna be fine. Rooting for her while she battling a bag for my time. They say Virginia's for lovers, yeah, they lovers of crime. It's hate here like lovers of crime.